Welcome back to another episode of Why Do I Do That? Today I have Steph here with me again, and we're going to be breaking down the ick. So normally we have a question that people write in, which is why do I, whatever it is. People have written in their icks, and we're going to be breaking down why you might have that ick and where it comes from. Some of them, to be honest, I just have no fucking idea, but we're going to be breaking that down. But first, I'm going to give you the definition, Steph's great idea, of an ick in case you don't know what the ick is. So it's generally in dating or early stages of a relationship or even later stages of a relationship. And it's a sudden feeling of disgust or dislike, often in response to the actions of another person. And this dictionary definition gives an example. And the example is, I once got the ick when a guy I was dating used an emoji that annoyed me. So super random, which I feel like those random ones are going to be easier to hypothesize where that's come from.
Yes, definitely.
So I thought we should start with your ick.
Okay.
What's your biggest ick?
So my top ick would probably have to be any kind of behavior that is too much too soon or controlling, which I kind of think goes into like a value thing or red flags and whatnot. But as an ick, it's like jokes that are underlying controlling behavior, or also I guess the ick could also be encompassed of like their personality and demeanor, as in like someone that they're controlling people and it comes out in their persona and it's an ick. Like you're at a bar, you're in a social situation and they're just icky, controlling, making jokes that aren't funny about being possessive or about women. That is my biggest ick. I will turn the other way and just be like, instant no.
Yeah.
Or something a bit more like trivial, someone waiting at a bus stop. It gives me the ick.
Scrub is a god.
I can't. Like in the most non-judgmental way. Like I reckon if I ever had to pick my partner up from the bus stop, I would just take a photo and just never let him live it down. Or skinny jeans. I'm sorry.
Like
I'm
really tight jeans.
Really tight skinny jeans. And if you're having a rip in there, it's an ick. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Which is why I love icks, because like what's an ick to one person is like a turn on to another person.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So really, because we were talking about this too on the phone, and we were talking about like those dudes that wear like really skinny jeans with like those really long like Nina and Pasadena t-shirts and shit.
Yeah.
Like the excessively long ones. That's definitely
yeah, and it comes down to preference. Like there'd be people out there that they love that style and they're attracted to that, and obviously that comes into play. But I think, I guess that's where it brings in the conversation of like where it comes from and whatever. Can you come back from it? I wouldn't.
Yes, and literally where my brain was just going, because I was like, I wonder if Steph's been burnt by a guy with a Kiss Chasey or a Nina and Pasadena long t-shirt.
Yeah. And also as well.
Did you date a guy like that one time?
No. But I think it just reminds me of a type of guy, which is where I can probably like do my own work of just like not being judgmental on a type of person.
Yeah.
But it just gives me the ick. And then, I think it's quite interesting to actually dive deeper into
where it comes from.
Yeah. But I've had the ick not straight away too. Like I've gotten the ick sometimes, like within the first few months of dating. And then I think the ick can creep up even if you're in a long-term relationship. It's just maybe something you can move through easier, or you get over or look past, or you dive into it with them. But I reckon you can get the ick from the people that you love the most.
Yeah, you definitely can. You can get it in a relationship. Like someone does something, you're like, I didn't notice that before.
Or something that you used to love and now they've done it in a certain way and you're like, you're giving me the ick.
Yeah.
What's your ick?
Yeah. Mine is, well, I have a really specific example, but I also have like generic one. And my generic one is guys that drive really loud like Commodores. I think you said there's a name for them, which is Commodore cockheads. Like guys that drive those like really loud Commodores down the main street and like rev it really loud. If like I was dating someone and they locked up in that car and I felt like they even had the ability to have that in them to rev it. I'd be like, "Ugh," which is so funny because Gav is like a Need for Speed guy. And he was like, that was me when I was 18. I'm like, that's why this would never have worked back then.
And it's like both of our partners are into like Land Cruisers and like
Yes.
traveling cars and stuff.
Full drives. Yeah.
Harrison actually just got a new exhaust on his car,
my God,
which he's
stop.
obsessed with, but it makes it louder and he can like
I
rev a
just
bit
can't
more.
with it.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, this I can handle because it's like a Land Cruiser and it's that kind of vibe. But if we were in anything that was in a Commodore or like four wheels or like, oh no, ick.
And it's this, and it translates into an ick that I didn't know I had until last year, which was that those guys also can own like speedboats and drive up and down the Murray River with like boats that have multiple motors on them and that are super loud, and they just like one hand it up the river like and they just do hot laps.
Yep.
They saw this one guy do like 5 laps, and every time he did a lap I felt more nauseous.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like it's, the speedboat or jet ski, Commodore.
And I can't like pinpoint what that is, but I just feel like, there's just something there that just makes me be like, ugh.
Yes, for sure. I think as well for me, just really quickly, ankle stocks are really freaking me out these days.
Ankle socks. Yep.
I don't want to see you.
Yeah, my other one was one that I like is like more of a specific one, again, that I didn't know that I had, but like I was sharing before, like I was dating this guy who one night needed a late night snack after we'd had like this huge dinner, and he went and made this sandwich, and I thought he was just going to come back with like toast or whatever, and it was just like layered with like thick as brie cheese and ham and just like mayo, and it was like the most sickening sandwich toast thing I've ever seen. And I was just like, and he just ate it in bed next to me, and I just watched him and was like, bleh, and then never saw him again.
That's like the definition of how the ick gives you the disgust and the feeling. Like if anyone's like listening and being like, I don't quite grasp what they're saying.
Everyone would have one.
It's just when you see something and you get this bodily response to just being like, I don't like that. That's made me uncomfortable almost, or just like I'm not looking at you in the same light for this split second.
Or repelling.
You can't come back from it sometimes, where it's all you think about when you think of that person then is that moment. Like I have this specific moment went back when I was dating of a guy that was too much too soon. And as soon as I felt the ick, it was done. I had to cut it off.
Which brings me to that question that you like did mention before is can you come back from the ick? And preaching what we do for work, you totally can, because sometimes the ick has like an underlying. I have friends and clients who have got the ick from a guy and they've talked to me about it, and I've been like, okay, like valid, you've got the ick, but also that's fucking stupid. You're going to break up with this like nice guy because he wore the wrong color shoes.
Yep.
Let's just talk to him about the shoes. Let's just tell him, let's just buy him a new pair of shoes. Can we like get past this?
Yeah.
I think sometimes there's something happening there subconsciously that's called, there always is something happening there subconsciously. I personally haven't dug into mine, but I probably could.
Sometimes it could just be they've genuinely done something.
Sometimes
that
they just,
like,
they're not your person, and there is like a feeling of repulsion because they're not right. But I think sometimes when those icks, they're coming from like a trauma or a past relationship or something like that, and that's why there's that repulsion there. And I feel like I've had like number of clients who have started dating a nice guy, have got the ick, have come to me, we've broken it down, we've looked at what it is, we've shifted all of those subconscious beliefs, and they've ended up going back and dating this guy, and he's ended up being love of their life, nicest guy ever. But it's like it's almost sometimes a little bit of sabotage, a little 100%. Bit of like, oh, like too nice, especially the too nice one. That's the most common when guys are like, and that's one of them in here, which is what yours is too. Like too intense, not in too intense too soon, but like too keen. And we've talked about that before.
Yeah, it's like, are they too keen or are they too nice and you're not used to it?
Yeah. Yeah. And are you just used to like the mean bad boys?
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely good introspection to have on that. Like if you're listening and you're like, yeah, any guy that just shows me healthy communication, ick,
Yeah.
I want them to treat me like
He
shit.
asked me how my day was. Oh.
Yeah. Like I was saying before we started recording, like when I was dating and it was a guy too much too soon, that was from a stance of like the next day he like came to my work and it was relationshipy before would even
Yeah.
But it's almost like if there was communication in there and it was the right way around it, then it would be so different. But I think if you're listening and you're like, it's a nice guy and whatnot, I honestly think it's a way to overcome that ick is just communication and humour. If it's the ankle socks, be funny about it. Like, oh my gosh, I don't like your ankle socks. Let's get some long ones. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy serious, but like, just.
But then on the flip side of that, if you were dating a guy and he was like, I don't like, ew, why are you wearing those shoes? You'd be like, fuck you, I like these shoes. Like you would be, as women, I feel like we'd be so offended, but we can be so critical.
Yeah, true. I mean, it depends on how you say it. Like
I know, but
have we mentioned the red shoes?
The what? No, so I did. I think I did mention it before. So let's go into some of these and unpack whether it's where we think they come from.
Yeah, let's do it.
Or whether they're just like that's an ick for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is treating hospitality staff like shit. I feel like that's a value. That's an ick, but it's also like a value. That's just like if you're a nice person and someone does that, you're like, you're not a nice person. It's a red flag.
Yeah, it's a red flag because it's you're repulsed by their lack of personable skills and manners.
Lack of empathy. Definitely
ick.
Valid ick.
Yeah.
Totally valid ick. And it actually was mentioned 3 times. 3 different people said it. So like that's a really common one. This one's from a guy actually. And he said, if she only has guy friends, that's an ick. And I feel like...
Okay, we need more context.
I know. I know this guy. He is a client, and I know that he has in the past had like anxious attachment style. So my brain straight away went to like, is it jealousy that she has all guy friends, or is it that type of girl that he doesn't like? That's like the boy's boy kind of girl, doesn't have like female friendships. Again, it's feeling more red flaggy for him than it is like an ick.
For those that don't know, I've spent the last 3 years of my life doing snow seasons. So that is something I've seen a lot up in the snow. And obviously, I don't know how old this person is, but like young to old, it's really common that a lot of the girls are friends with all the guys. And if anything, all the guys have friends. And it's very like situational and normal, and there's no threat whatsoever. And they have the personality to get along with guys. And it's really noticeable that it's a friendship.
Yeah.
So I think it would depend on
the situation.
The environments.
Because there are girls that have all guy friends, but they've actually also had sex with most of them.
Yeah.
So it's
see, that's where it's different. Like if she's friends with all the people that she used to sleep with, fair enough. Like if that's not good, if that's a boundary for you, then it makes sense. And also being able to communicate, not that this is where this needs to go, but like having that conversation with that partner to be like, hey, this is what I've experienced and this is what it's triggering for me.
Yeah.
But
okay.
icky if it's like, those over flirtatious girls that all their guys are friends, but it's like, but you actually can see them seeking and getting something from that friendship.
Seeking some validation and from multiple men.
Yeah.
That would be an ick.
That's an ick.
That would be an ick.
That behaviour, ick.
That is an ick.
Yeah.
Totally.
Even, especially the other way around.
It's an ick.
Like guys that have the girlfriends and it's an ick. Yeah.
Red runners is next.
Yeah.
Red runners. Like, what do we do with this?
What red runners? Okay.
Where does that come from? Did someone hurt you with red runners? Like, what's the
Did you have a
trauma
clown around you at a party as a kid and now you hate red runners?
Yeah, like there's got to be something in that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so specific. Although it could be that like category thing as well.
Yeah. And what kind of red runners? Are we talking runners that like he's wearing them with jeans? Or like, and are you allowed to wear red runners?
See, my old next door neighbours had a son who was a drug dealer, and he would always get around in red runners and like with his like Nike bum bag and like his hat, his like Nike hat and like.
Yeah.
So that when I think red runners, I think of him and I think of like a certain type of person, like a lad. But then
with like red TNs.
But then I also feel like that's probably like more going into the category of like a type of person.
Yeah.
But then if like someone but then I can imagine someone super cool, like rocking red runners.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love red, so I have an issue with this question. But
Yeah. For me, it would be just what type of runner is it? And there is a lot of things, I'll admit, that I can perceive as an ick, but I know it's because a previous partner, a previous situationship or some sort had a similar style that wore a similar thing. So I can like connect the dots. For example, I don't like TNs because my ex wore TNs and now I see TNs and I want to burn them. So yeah, can connect the dot. But for this question, I really want to know.
I want to know more context.
I want to know.
Yeah. I want to do a
red
session.
runner, and do you wear red runners?
I
Like, does the ick
highly
for
doubt
yourself?
she'd wear red runners if she
Yeah.
can't. That would be so
questions.
hypocritical.
We have questions.
I'll ask her some more about that.
Yeah.
We can dive into that. Okay, this next one can hard relate. Spiritual, narcissistic, ego-driven men. I am obviously a spiritual person. I like teach spirituality. It's a big part of my life, but I'm not super woo-woo.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started dating and I was on the apps, because of my job, heaps of spiritual guys were approaching me.
Yeah.
And I was like, bleh, like which is
Yeah.
so funny because you'd think that being that way, I would want a partner who is like same or like, you know, interested in breath work and, you know, healing
No ick.
events and all those sorts of things. But those guys just,
Are a walking ick.
they're a walking ick. They like, and I just feel
You
like
sound like such assholes.
this is like the meanest episode I've ever done.
Obviously, take this with a grain of salt, and we're having a bit of fun. And like, there's people
but-
out there that are spiritual that we love. Like,
There's guys out there that are super wholesome, but
yeah,
I think it's
and like
their-
I've had guy friends that are spiritual and stuff, but it's like if you're walking around flinging a fire dancing stick.
I think the bottom line of this is the word narcissistic because
Yes.
those things can be like very intertwined in the industry.
Yeah.
Spiritual men can be like, there's a guy, Kyle Lipton, maybe I think it is. And
Name
he does
drop.
like, what's that?
Name drop.
Name drop. He's like in America or somewhere. And he does like the funniest, like tongue-in-cheek reels of
Yeah.
like spiritual guys. And he
Yeah.
wears like this like big feather hat thing. And he like does these reels where he's like, you know, I honor, like, I'm like honoring your feelings right now, but I just want to let you know that the way that I'm interpreting what you're saying and blah, blah, blah. And he's like spiritual gaslighting
Yeah.
men and like, you know, we're free souls, we shouldn't be tied together. Last night was fun. But like, he's like
No,
talking
ick.
about how you can like.
You can't just say it in a spiritual way
Yes,
and then
saying
think that you're
things
not
in a
an
spiritual
F-boy.
Yes. Spiritual fuckboy is a
There's
thing.
fuckboys in the spiritual realm.
They are, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
so-
and yeah, like spiritual narcissistic people that abuse, whether it's the language or the values or the everything, and that's an ick. That is an ick.
Yeah, because it's you can feel, which comes to someone else's ick. Oh no, that was a red flag. Sorry, but you can feel that it's not real, and that's
Yeah.
what's the ick. I
Yeah.
think you can feel when something
Disingenuine.
is not real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ick.
just being not real in general.
Yeah. And if you throw the fact that you don't wear a top and have a fire dancing stick with you 24/7, you're even more walking ick.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, the next one is not pushing in their chair at the dining table. That's super specific. And I feel like that sounds like childhood things. That sounds like you had to do that. And if they don't do that, that like irritates you and gives you the ick.
Or
That's-
seeing them as inconsiderate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is this just when you're out at places or in your own home?
It's like, yeah, but it's like taking that one behavior and making that mean something that it
Yes.
maybe doesn't mean, because I always get up from the table and don't push my chair
Yeah,
in.
same.
And I'm a very considerate person.
Yeah,
but it's
that
like
is really
taking,
interesting.
it's like, that's like very like specific that I know this woman, she's a client. And so I'm like, oh, there'll be something in that.
Yeah.
Totally.
There's something in that, but personally, I wouldn't get the ick from it. Unless we're like at a
but
restaurant
if we're thinking
and it's
about the
super
why, like
inconvenient.
why would you
Yeah.
get an ick from that? I think it's that.
Yeah, probably. 100%. There's like,
It's conditioning. She's
It's
learned that that's
conditioning.
rude
yeah.
or like not acceptable.
Yeah.
And then that's why she's getting
And she's grown up in an environment where if she did that, she'd be punished and been told she's inconsiderate and you're this, and that.
So it's
So
more of
that's
like
actually-
sounds more like triggering.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's like actually triggering something there.
The next one is so mean. I don't even want to read it. Guys,
Good.
guys with really small, skinny hands.
Producer lifts up his hand.
And we got to start looking at Carl to make sure we're not offending him. Guys with really small, skinny hands. I think that's a masculine thing. I think this woman probably is equating small, skinny hands with like masculinity, and there's like an ick there around.
And how skinny? I've seen guys with small hands, but I don't know if like small
And skinny. I've not can't say that I've ever noticed that in somebody.
Yeah.
Imagine just like going on dates and just checking out their hands.
Well, I have the same sized hands as Harrison.
Yeah.
But I have bigger hands, and I don't find that icky.
You have big hands, like in general, you mean?
I feel like I've got bigger hands for a girl. Okay. So he's got small hands though for a guy.
Yeah, and that's not an ick.
Nah.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Well,
it's definitely not something.
Why do we think it's an ick for this girl? It's the masculine thing, maybe.
Probably.
It's the same as there's another one in here, as a couple in here about height, like being taller.
See, this is what I can really relate to. If Harrison was any shorter, ick.
Yeah. Okay.
I like personally, and I'm sure a lot of women could agree.
That's a masculine thing because it makes you feel like less small and feminine if you're not.
And just a social conditioning thing, I think as well.
Yeah. Well, there's reels on that. There's like reels of like tall women with shorter husbands that'll have a whole account about how they're taller.
What the fuck is? I think it's social conditioning. I think. Look. Just to paint myself a little bit in a bit of a better picture, I think if it came down, if I met someone that ticked all the boxes and everything like that, and they were a bit shorter than I would like, okay, I'm going to look past it. But I definitely think it's a masculine thing and a social conditioning thing. I think in society, in media, for years and years and years, we're portrayed as like, you know, men, whether it's movies, Disney movies, all the things, you name it, like guys are taller and more masculine and women are small and petite. And where do you ever see
how it should be,
or have any consumption around anything saying that men are the same height or shorter?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it would definitely be something like that.
I actually have a perfect example with the height thing, also around perception, because I've shared this before on social media, maybe even in an episode before, but I have this friend who won't date a guy that's shorter than her.
Right.
And when I introduced her to one of Gab's friends, she was like, I can't date him. He's shorter than me and I just can't do it. And we worked, because he was such a nice guy and he had so many good qualities, we actually removed this block subconsciously in her mind, along with a couple of other things that she just created that were icks, no-goes. And she sent me a picture. They went to a wedding, so they ended up continuing to date. And then a couple months later, she went to a wedding with him and she sent me a picture, and I'm not fucking even joking at all. He is this much taller than her. He has a head on her. And but in her mind from those first 2 dates, I don't know how, she truly believed that he was shorter than her, and that's how she was perceiving him.
Wow.
How crazy is that? So sometimes even what you're seeing and what you're interpreting isn't even true about that person. And in this case, it was because he was just so nice and safe and comfortable and she wasn't used to it. There was any excuse to get away from what was unfamiliar.
Yeah.
Which is again, what my clients are coming to me with. The icks, sometimes when I remove them, they're one was, this guy's really boring. He's so boring. And then we removed that belief and she came back to me a week later laughing, saying he surfs, he fishes, he goes camping all the time. He does everything that I love doing. He's so adventurous. He's not boring at all.
Yeah.
I can't understand how I had that perception of him for months. And I'm because that's how our brain works.
Yep. And it's is it an ick or is it just your brain trying to keep you away?
Yeah.
Maybe that guy didn't have that much cheese in his sandwich.
Maybe my brain.
Maybe it was a really
accentuated
healthy
the brie
sandwich.
Maybe it was a salad sandwich.
And you're it was this monstrous brie filled.
I don't know. I don't know if a salad sandwich can create
your
much
brain,
oil coming out of you.
Yeah. Just your, long story short, your brain can give you illusions. And a lot of the time your icks are coming from psychological places.
Yeah.
You don't just wake up one day and then go, I hate red shoes.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, let's get through a couple more. Tight ass. Circumstantial,
but a bit of an ick.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're starting to date a guy and he's making you pay for your own coffee because he wants to pay for his own coffee, that's an ick. It's
What makes that an ick? Why is that an ick? Where does that come from?
Personally, I believe that if you're on a date, then a guy should pay for the coffee. And if he's being a tight ass about it, then it's an ick because it kind of puts you into your masculine.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I would go into my masculine and I'd be like, well, okay, I don't need you to pay it anyway.
I think underlying it is like that cared for. If you look at it in the big picture, it's like, is this person going to look after me?
Yeah. And like you said, circumstantial. If it's the first date and you have no idea, it's like, I don't believe that you have any obligation or responsibility on the other person at all quite yet. Unless it's like they've asked you out for a full-on dinner. But I think if you're catching up on a first date for some coffee, like, okay, pay for your own coffee, cool.
Okay, next one is people who complain all the time. We were talking about this before.
Ick.
Negative, just bad vibes.
Why do you reckon they...
I think they don't like that because no one likes to be around bad vibes.
Yeah, 100%. Ick.
That's an obvious one. Chewing with their mouth open.
Ick.
Just sounds bad, looks bad.
It's just bad manners.
It is bad manners. I feel like most people, I don't know anyone that's like, oh, I just love it when people chew with their mouth open. I can see the food rolling around in their mouth.
Yeah, like if you're sitting there having some food with someone and you're just distracted by their noises and open mouth, you're going to have that feeling of disgust.
Yeah. These are so offensive. I just feel so mean today. Okay, let's just slam through these last few.
Yep.
When a man has shaved legs, and then she's written in brackets, or a shaved chest, or back, or pubes. Because that's a lot of different areas. They're different areas. I was like,
She just wants a gorilla man.
Yeah, she has a gorilla man, so this adds up.
Yeah, maybe like a masculine thing.
Could be.
Totally. I couldn't do shaved legs.
Shaved legs. I mean, these guys ride bikes.
Well,
you
there's
don't
a
have to
reason,
shave
like
your
footy players, because they want to put sports tape on or something.
Yeah, if it was a footy player.
But if it was for looks, I don't think I would like.
Oh, if they were just shaving because they like the feeling, or like yeah, that's a red flag. Okay, this is so specific. When a man doesn't finish his meal and says he's full, ew.
I don't think that's an ick.
Why do you think that would come from?
Wanting to be, what's the word? Like if you've cooked them a meal?
Yeah, if you've cooked it, you could be offended, but maybe even not so because I don't always finish my meal. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
That is interesting. What comes to mind is how, like, depending on different cultures and stuff like that, like it's considered rude to finish your meal because it means they haven't given you enough.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to know if this person was brought up in an environment where...
Well, she's written and says he's full. So maybe it's just like I don't know. I feel like I know this person, and so I feel like it's just do it sort of thing. You can push through.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I can't relate to that one personally, but I'm not going to yum someone's yuck.
Stringy saliva things when people talk. Those stringy saliva things when people talk. And another person actually wrote the white that gets caught in the side of people, the white saliva that gets clustered in the side of people's mouths. That's actually generating a physical response in my body.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's
I think
icky.
that's just also, I don't know anyone that doesn't.
That's just kind of like a hygienic thing where you're a bit like, that's it.
It's like drink some fucking water.
But no, but genuinely, can you imagine dating someone and that happening? You would not be able to come back from that.
Yeah. No, I don't think you could.
Not me licking my lips to be like.
The rest are kind of the same. So dirty teeth, dirty long nails, hygiene things. Which I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think the why for that is that person doesn't look after themselves and isn't going to look after themselves.
And they value a well-presented
person. Yeah.
Person. So totally understand your icks.
And the last one is a juicy one. I don't know if this is an ick or a red flag, to be honest, but she says it's an ick. Following way too many females on IG.
Ick.
Why is that an ick?
Okay. There is context involved that's sometimes needed. What type of girls, for example, are they
OnlyFans?
Half naked OnlyFans girls, and are they showing interest in liking things like that? I have very personal boundaries around this stuff, but I personally think that's a bit of an ick for sure.
Yeah. I've talked to Gav about this before, and I was just like saying, oh, you know, like, because he said that he had past partners that were like upset about girls that he followed and things like that. And I was thinking about it and I was like, well, I guess like it actually turned into a super funny conversation. I was like, I guess if I was following heaps of accounts with like super muscly, ripped dudes, like how would you feel? And he's like, I really don't think I would care. And then I like literally wrote in super muscly dudes and it just came up with these pages that were so fucking funny. I wish I could show you. I'll have to like link it somewhere, but they were like I feel like I can almost like bodybuilders. Like, I was like, it's like actually I don't even want to do that. I think it's an insecurity thing though too. Like I think there's like, well, it's an immaturity thing, I think, a little bit on men's behalf, like to follow multiple
if it's
naked
just
women
models
accounts.
and OnlyFans and lingerie, it's like it's definitely an immaturity thing, and it's a respect thing as well.
Respect, yeah.
Like if that's what you are seeing every day, I just think you have a partner.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need to be doing that? A little bit, you know, whatever your relationship is your relationship. But like, personally, I would find that an ick.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's just their friends and it's like within moderation.
Yeah, it depends. Well, and then on the flip side of that, I have so many clients who have like partners who follow women that are like in their community. Like I have one in particular who he follows like girls who have OnlyFans but that are in the sort of town that they live in. And then that's actually more of a red flag because that's like, oh, they're like actually people that they're single women.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
That's a
for sure. I think it can be circumstantial. It's like who these women are that they're following, what kind of context.
I think the models and Instagram and all of that, like, and a lot of them is a maturity thing. And I feel like that would give me the ick if I felt like they were immature.
Yeah. And like I could probably even admit, it could be an insecurity of mine too, but I just genuinely just don't think it's an appropriate thing to do when you're in a respectable relationship following a bunch of models and half naked. It's like, and you might as well leave a magazine on the coffee table of
FHM.
Of like,
is that even around
bunch
anymore?
of women in lingerie. It's like, it's not that I want to swap places with that woman in the lingerie, but I just don't think it's appropriate. Like,
for sure. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like we've just been mean, but we've also unpacked some of these whys and some of them have turned out to be red flags, which is actually going to be one of our episodes coming up, which is even more juicy because I feel like some of those are really personal.
Yes.
But thank you for coming on today.
You're welcome.
And yeah, that's our ick episode.
Yeah, ick. And yes, you can come back from the ick. We'll leave you with that.
You can, if you need help coming back from the ick, if you're like questioning whether it's a real thing, definitely work with your subconscious.
Yeah, write them down and then just ask yourself, is this my brain trying to be a little bitch or am I just having a little moment?
Yeah, love that. Bye.